so let me see when it ends. 1 second. Okay, so I think we can end it. Finish. Okay, so part number 3. Actually, we see how it goes. Maybe it takes more time. Part number 3, summary of the laws. The Melachah of Bishul. Okay. The Melachah of Bishul, cooking, covers every method of preparing food through the application of heat, whether by cooking, baking, roasting, or frying. Okay, Bishul, we got it. Cooking is not literally cooking, but all of the application of heat, whatever heat is it, to make the food cooked. Okay. Next one. Cooking is permitted on Yom Tov under the rule of Chol Nefesh. However, it pertains only to food that are needed for that day. So Chol Nefesh, whatever people usually need to eat, right? People usually need some food, right? But only for that day, meaning not for the next day. Cooking for the use of next day is forbidden. Even the next day will also be Yom Tov. So that food will be forbidden. Okay. Continue. Cooking that could have been done before the Yom Tov. Since food generally tastes better when it's freshly cooked, it is permitted to cook on Yom Tov even something that could have been cooked beforehand. Okay. Even if it could have been kept fresh by refrigerator or freezer. Okay. So technically, if you prefer to cook on Yom Tov, right, because you think it's going to be better, so nobody's going to stop you. Right, even as we said in an example, even during the rest of the year, you don't act like that. So you usually cook for next week ahead. Okay, no problem. Continue. So some people actually, what they do, like honor of Shabbos, so they eat cook a lot on Shabbos. Not a lot, but some extra on Shabbos, and then eat a little of that Shabbos food during the week. Of course, the taste would be different because there is no Shabbos, but still. Okay. Next one, foods that are just as tasty when cooked a day or two in advance. For example, cooked fruit must be cooked before the Yom Tov. Okay, so as we said, another example, we said jello. So if there's no difference whatsoever, right? If you cook before the Yom Tov, so you should have done before the Yom Tov. As we said, the days are so short. Like when exactly you have time to cook. Continue. One who did not cook this type of food prior to Yom Tov may cook it on Yom Tov by employing a shinui. Okay, we said that. No problem. Right, by employing a shinui. Meaning that the food that would be as good if we cook before Yom Tov. Next one. If person was for some reason unable to cook the food before the Yom Tov, he may cook it on Yom Tov without shinui. Meaning, as we said, he was busy in mitzvah, somebody was sick, tending to the needs of the community, whatever was it, so like a good reason, so he can cook normally. Okay. Next one. Cooking more than is needed. When cooking for the Yom Tov meal, one need not be concerned that some will be left over, but may cook enough to ensure that there will be sufficient food for everyone eat as much as they wish. So that's our always like mindset. So I'm not cooking for the next day, but in case the guests are going to come, in case everybody would take 2 extra portions, so there is no problem. So I would have enough food. If the guest not going to come, nobody is going to take an extra portion. It's going to be enough for tomorrow. Okay, so continue. It is permitted to increase the amount of that one cooks. There is to add to the pot an extra measure. This is definitely not needed that day, provided 3 conditions are met. Okay. So if there is, for example, you don't have guests that are coming, right, unannounced, right, and you for sure you're not going to eat so much, for sure. Okay, so but you still want to cook extra. So the 3 conditions. Number 1, all food must be placed in a pot in advance, so that when a pot is placed on the fire, only one of cooking will occur, right? So act of cooking, as we say, applying the heat when you put everything, all your spices, all your chicken or whatever you do in this pot. So it's not actually cooking, right? It's just preparation. So, and if there is no border, for example, if there is no salt, and as we said, if you make it soup and you peel all of the potatoes before the Yom Tov, there is no problem whatsoever. You just put it in a pot, right? So there is no other Melachah basically. Number 2, no extra effort may be done to prepare a needed item for cooking. Meaning what? That you put everything into this into your pot, and with one act you put it on the fire. Okay, that's it. So like what is forbidden, as we said, like when you fry in separate pieces, that would be like extra effort for sure. Number 3, one may not mention the extra amount being cooked the next day use. I say, like in my mind, like it makes sense. Don't even think about it. So you just cook. So basically, if we're going to eat today, it's good. If not, so it's going to be leftover, whatever. So my concern that it's going to be more than enough for today. That's it. So more than enough, maybe somebody would want to eat extra. That's it. So that's don't think about next day. That's my personal advice. Even though we say that the only thing that is not allowed is to mention it out loud. Continue. It is permitted to add unneeded food to a pot of cooking food in order to enhance the flavor of the needed food in the pot or to prevent from burning. This is permitted even extra effort in is allowed. So a beautiful example is when he said that when you don't need extra pieces of chicken, but you want this chicken soup to taste better. So you're not adding these extra pieces of chicken, even after the pot is on a fire. Like maybe you put too much water and only a few pieces of chicken. So it's not going to suffice. So right. So maybe you since you put so much water and so much other ingredients, so you want to put a few extra pieces. No problem. Okay. So continue. Any questions on what we said? Okay, so I mean, we spoke about it as he said. See chapter 2, chapter 4. I mean, he was speaking about it this before, but it was applicable to different melachas. Now he combined everything in one chapter. So it's I say it's not like there is a new material, but like there are a lot of things that we discussed before. Okay. So part number 4. Practical applications. A. Cooking extra chicken. It is permitted to cook a roast, the entire chicken, even though one intend to use only small part on the Yom Tov. That's another good example, right? So you're not obligated to cut pieces from the chicken. You just roast the complete chicken, right? And leave the rest for the next day of Yom Tov. Okay, so you can do complete chicken, or after Yom Tov. So like. Complete chicken is not extra pieces. Okay. However, breading extra pieces of chicken is forbidden due to the separate effort involved in preparing each piece. So there is no melachah involved, right? When you bread the piece of chicken, right? But what is the prohibition? Because of the extra effort. Again, our rabbis try to protect us from ourselves. B. Larger kugel. It is forbidden to make a larger than necessary kugel on Yom Tov if one intention is to use some of it second day of Yom Tov, because it is necessary to peel more potatoes in order to make larger kugel. This extra effort is forbidden on Yom Tov. So, I mean, if you know you're not going to eat that much because it's very a lot of calories, it's like not like filling. So I mean, it feels very, very good. So you can eat like few pieces of kugel, and you'd be like full. Okay. Right. So they say if you're going to plan to cook a large kugel, So for sure you need to do different melachah, not melachah of cooking. Cooking is, as we said, it's the same act, right? You put it into the oven and that's it. It cooks, right? But the problem is that with different melachah, or borer, or sorting, meaning that you have to peel potatoes. Okay. Peel potatoes and then I think grate it. So all this extra efforts. C. Blintzes and latkes. It is forbidden to cook or fry extra food. When doing so involves separate acts of melacha, each piece, right? For sure, it's like it takes time and extra efforts. Since frying blintzes and latkes calls for turning each piece in a frying pan, it is forbidden to fry more than the amount that is might be needed on that day of Yom Tov. Meaning what? That, as we said, it's very interesting. When you take, in order to flip over, so you have to take out, like pick up a little, well, it doesn't matter how much, but you take it out, so and then you put it like back, so it's considered like an extra melachah of cooking. Very interesting. Okay, so it's individual pieces forbidden. Okay, so example D, stuffed cabbage, kreplach. So kreplach is like ravioli, something, right? Ashkenazi style. Since making stuffed cabbage or kreplach requires additional significant effort to prepare each piece for cooking, it is forbidden to make more of these foods than needed on Yom Tov. So for sure, it takes very long time, right? So, because those are individual pieces. So again, it's preparation efforts. However, if the pieces have been prepared before the Yom Tov, all of them may be inserted in the pot, placed on the fire together, even though there are more than necessary. So here, as we said, if you can do, since there is no preparation. So I took from refrigerator, for example, we prepared this stuffed cabbage before. So we can transfer to the pot and put it on a stove. There is no problem. Okay, continue. Last one. Cooked fruit, jello. Since cooked fruit and jello that are prepared before the Yom Tov is as tasty as that which prepared on Yom Tov, one must, when possible, cook those foods prior to Yom Tov. Okay, very straightforward. One who did not do so may cook them on Yom Tov by employing shinui. Right? There is first putting the pot on the fire and then adding the ingredients, or vice versa, in opposite of usual manner. Okay, so as we say, shinui like opposite of whatever you usually do. Okay, so shinui, I guess, making coffee, for example, you do pour water and then put sugar and coffee. Right? I'm talking the instant coffee. And that's maybe somebody does it, but I think most of the people would put sugar and coffee and then add water. Okay, so that's the shinui. Okay, we can stop here.